They're not moving like they should.
Yeah,
be.
you know what? I've seen a lot of crackheads in my hometown, yeah, who looked a bit drugged up as that tiger. So
Download the AllStar app. Make your picks for UFC fights, challenge your friends, level up and win prizes. Link in description. Get it now.
Lewis, you're out here in Phuket. You know,
Yep.
I had to get the interview. So, how's your trip been so far?
oh, it's been wicked, mate. Different climate, weather, different scenery for me. I'm back in England. It's just cold and miserable and wet. So it's all sunny paradise with a lot of MMA fighters.
What you been doing? Have you been actually enjoying your time, or you just been training it? That's it.
I've been enjoying my time. I've been coming here for training as well. And then I'm exploring Phuket. I'm seeing what it's all about and stuff like that. It's my first trip here. I've never even been to Asia before, and I'm loving it, mate. I'm training hard, yeah.
Yeah, I saw you post a pic with some tigers.
Yeah.
What was that like?
That was a bit mad. You know what? When I walked in, yeah, I was like, I've always wanted to see a tiger that close. One of my favourite animals ever. But then for some reason, it felt a bit depressing. I can't lie, because when I see it, like it was on Xanax or something. It was a bit drugged up. Do you know what I mean? But it was good. It was good.
Yeah, I heard some things about that. I
Yeah.
heard, it's kind of weird when you go there. It's like
Yeah.
they're not moving like they should.
Yeah,
be.
you know what? I've seen a lot of crackheads in my hometown, yeah, who looked a bit drugged up as that tiger. So it seemed a bit familiar.
Yeah. How has the training been out here? You know, you said it was your first time coming
Yeah.
out. You know, of course the weather is an obstacle, but once
Yeah.
you get over that, it's all good, right?
Yeah. Or it's I love the structure here. I love the number of bodies. There's all sorts of training partners from all corners of the world just coming here for training purposes, and like the weather's very nice. It takes a week and a half for me to adjust. I say I'm a pale ginger from England, so it's not exactly my climate.
Yeah, you gotta kind of duck and dodge the shine right from the sun.
That's it, mate. That's it.
Everybody is.
Sun dodger.
Yeah, for sure. Like you've been out here. You know, what I mean, people come out here, from all over the world, from all different promotions. Have you been able to train with people that was kind of unexpected?
Yeah, a little bit. I'm just moving with a lot of people, and it doesn't even matter if someone's in the UFC or Bellator. There's a guy probably there who I've never heard of who's from Russia, with like 200 followers on Instagram, and he's probably like 13 and 1 back at home or something, and I'm going with guys like this, and I'm just getting a different feel of what everybody's about on the levels and stuff. Like I'm doing rounds with Mohamed Makayev. I've done rounds with him back in England. I know the guy very well. He's a good friend of mine, and just seeing the levels they're here with him as well, as always, because he's developing in his stage in the UFC, and guys on the mat from all around the world. It's crazy.
Yeah. Isn't it a trip that you guys are both from the UK? And you trained out there, and then you just meet up here somehow and train here as well. It's kind of wild,
it's
right?
crazy, mate. It's the Matrix. That's what I call it. It's all get pulled together with like this mad energy. And even there's so many Mancunians, people from Manchester. There's a lot of Mancunians here, like who have trained with back at home, and I'm bumping into them here. I'm like, no way, are you here? Oh, I'm here as well. We could get some work in. Do you know what I mean? And it's good to see a fellow Englishman, Mancunian.
Yeah, it's good vibes, man. It seems like it's good vibes all the time, dude. Like everybody's happy here.
100%, mate. I love it here. How hard is it not to have a smile here when someone's giving you a smoothie and the sun's blaring and you're, of course I'm going to be smiling, mate. You know what I mean?
For sure. Now let's talk about PFL Europe, man. You made your debut last year.
Yep.
You fought 3 times, 2-1. The first 2 fights, man, were you finished the guys kind of like in a similar way. You know what I mean? Almost a similar way. Is that like your signature, the left hand?
You know what, mate? It's not really as I force something to happen. It just happens. I'm throwing sequences with my left hand to make them react to some certain ways. It just suddenly happens. You know what I mean? If I keep working on my craft, then it'll happen. It's not my fault if they're getting knocked out with the same shot end of the day. But yeah.
What did you not like about those first 2 performances? You know what I mean? Of course, you got spectacular finishes.
Yeah.
But there must have been a few things.
I'm still not showing my full potential as I am I'm so young still in this game, and it's all coming together, and I know where I'm heading now. Especially coming here and feeling the fighters here, and I know where my level. I just need to show more of my game and implement it.
Yeah. And then the third fight you had against Wesley Maya, that went to the decision.
Yeah.
You suffered a loss there. Take us back to that fight and your thoughts on it. Now you're sitting on a few months removed.
Yeah. You know what, mate? It's a learning curve for me. I know in MMA, that's how it works. It's the cookie crumbles, unfortunately. It sucks and it's one of them, but I know I can beat Wesley Mayo. I know I can knock out Wesley Mayo. I know I didn't feel like I performed well on that night. I wasn't switched on. There's a few things what I'm going to put that under the rug and just get back on the high horse, and I'm going to get a few wins back on the high horse again, and if he wants that rematch, I'm here for smoke end of the day.
Dealing with that loss, right? It's your first professional loss, so it wasn't that difficult for you. You know what I mean? Was it something that you could push past pretty easily?
Well, it takes a lot of character building, I guess. You get knocked off your ego a little bit. It's just natural, innit? Like, in the day, we're fighters and we've got an ego and stuff like that. But I'm very reassuring with myself because I know how to. Even though I might come across as a wild man and I'm doing it, I'm very reassuring in where I'm going and what I got to do. I know there's going to be bumps on the road in this journey. So yeah, I'm moving on from that, and I feel so much better now, mentally and physically.
And PFL 2024. They don't have a bantamweight division for the PFL in North America, but they do have it for Europe. You know, what is your future like?
We'll see end of the day. You know what? I reckon I could make flyweight again, mate. I'm a bit big right now. I'm enjoying myself, but I'm out of camp. You know what I mean? I haven't got a fight booked. I'm just enjoying myself out here. But I rate a flyweight division will definitely be more good for me. But we need to get that talking with PFL. Do you know what I mean?
So flyweight's what you prefer?
I do prefer flyweight. I feel like that's my weight class. And these guys my size, like sometimes some fighters in bantamweight are a little bit bigger than me, maybe, because they're in more man strength. I'm still 23. I'm still growing as a person, as a fighter. Do you know what I mean? So I'm just shape-shifting into that body and stuff like that. Do you know what I mean?
Sure. Yeah, you're still young, super young, right?
Yeah.
Young in your career. So there's no talk of any kind of fight, or because I know PFL announced the first card, right, in Paris, right?
Yep.
So. Did they say anything to you, or what's going on?
I'm in talks with me getting a fight. Like, I'm just not rushing it right now because I don't want to rush into these performances in these fights. I still need to build myself up. It's even good to even just get 2 fights in this year. I might even chip in a little bit of other sports and fighting. Do you know what I mean? I have got the availability to do that. I'm just taking my time and ticking over and improving and getting better.
Do you think there's like this rush now too much? It's like people are like almost forced into like certain fights that they shouldn't be taking, because it seems like you're more calm, collected, and you see your career a different way compared to other guys where they're like 5-0 and they're like, oh, I'm getting signed to a major promotion, and they get, you know, thrown to the wolves.
100%. I think too many people, I think a lot of fighters are broke. That's what it is, yeah. And we're all just trying to chase the bag. And then some people forgetting about the journey to get the bag or even to get where their legacy is going to go. It's all about taking your time as a fighter. And I'm feeling like, end of the day, the money will come. It's all about just focusing on your training and you getting better as a fighter, and then all that will come in good time. Don't rush it because you'll just jeopardize yourself in the future.
So, if you want to fight, I guess, you know, they just did the merger. What do you think about the merger, the PFL Bellator?
I think it's pretty. I think that's pretty decent. You know what I mean? I think it's very interesting how they're matching all these like super fights, as you want to call them. I think the tournament's cool as well with the PFL, but I do think they should make a ranking system and mix it in with the Bellator fighters, and the PFL fighters. I would like to see a ranking system because I feel like a tournament's a bit too rushing as well. It rushes fighters.
Yeah, that's interesting. I never heard anybody say that. They should have a ranking system.
Yeah.
Combine it together, right?
Yeah.
See like who's the best, and because I'm pretty sure they'll allow you to fight in Bellator. You know, it all depends on whatever your position is,
100%,
right?
100%.
With the promotion, but yeah, it's interesting. It opens up a lot, man. Like you said, there's the super fights or champion versus champions, but there's a lot of non-champions.
Yeah, exactly. I look at it this way, right? I think they should do a tournament separate, and then do a ranking system, and they should do like a top 4 qualification. Like, you watch soccer, right? Football. In English football, your top 4 goes into the Champions League, the European leagues. They should do that. So if you qualify in the top 4, I believe you should go into the tournament system or something like that. Just something around the lines of that, and I think that'll make things more interesting.
It does, man. You're coming up with some good ideas.
I'm a bit spontaneous, you know.
Yeah, they need to call you.
I'm not that much brain damage, mate.
Yeah, right. Yeah, but I think there's the Bellator, the merger. It opens up a lot of fights for you. Someone like that's fighting at bantamweight, that could fight at flyweight. There's guys out there. You know what I mean? You could face off. Do you see any guys like out there like on the roster where you're like, yeah, that's a that's a solid matchup. You know what I mean? Nothing easy, but a solid matchup that would be exciting.
100%. I'm always eyeing up anyone who could fight, especially in the bantamweight division. Do you know what I mean? Because it's a possibility I could fight that person. End of the day, I'm ready for smoke no matter what. But I've got to take my time with it as well. And I know I could even there's even crafty veterans out there. I could be better than them technically, and like even my talent-wise. But some of these guys know how to win a fight. There's a difference. They've just been around for years. They've been fighting for years. They know how to win the rounds. But whereas like the talent can not always mix in with the crafty veteran. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, of course, man. Like that's playing the game, you know.
Exactly.
The veterans, some
It's
of them,
chess.
like you said, they're not as talented as the young guys, but they just know how to win the rounds and manipulate.
I feel like I was part of that, mate. I felt like I was better than Wesley Meyer, but he knew how to win the fight, if you know what I mean. Win to the scorecards, which is fair enough, mate. He got me on that one. Do you know what I mean? So yeah.
Yeah, learning lessons, man.
Yeah.
Also, Andrew Tate, man. You got a message from Andrew Tate. That's kind of trippy, right?
Yeah, it is a bit mad.
Yeah.
I'll tell you exactly where I was, you know. I was literally just in a park in my local council estate where I live. And then Luke Barnett, some former UFC fighter, he's good friends with Andrew Tate, and he went, I've got a little surprise for you. He watched you fight the other night. I went, what? Sent me this video and it's Andrew Tate saying, you're looking good, keep it up, keep with the hard work. I seen it, I was so gassed, mate. I ran around the park, I was like, no way, let's go. I was buzzing, mate. I was buzzing. It was proper sick though, yeah.
Have you met him since then?
I've never met him, you know, but I've been around people who are very, very tight with him and very, very close, like the War Room, if you've heard of them, they're people. I've been around sort of vibes of them and stuff like that, but alright, it's all in good time to meet Andrew Tate, innit?
No, for sure, because I think in the video he said, let's spar.
Yeah, 100%,
Yeah,
Have a good knock with Andrew Tate with a top G, why not, innit?
Yeah.
Always, mate, yeah?
Sure. Yeah, man, I'm excited to see you get back in there, you know what I mean? Especially, you know, after, you know, taking the first L, see how you bounce back. That's the most interesting thing to watch in fighting, to be honest with you, is watching fighters go through obstacles. And you know, this might not be a huge obstacle, but it's still an obstacle you have to go through, right?
Yeah, of course, mate. Oh, that's part of life, end of the day. It can be sucky how you take it, mate, but end of the day, you got to get back on your high horse, innit? And go again.